Alright, looks like we're going. What's up, Facebook? How y'all doing? Blessings, blessings. Let's get the Indinkra cards out. Got a late night reading here. I just woke up, so figure I'll get some work done. Go ahead and say your protection prayers. You will want to always do that, no matter who's giving a reading or whatever, no matter if it's a sermon, if it's just some advice from a friend. Always pray protection over yourself, that you don't receive any deceptions, distortions, distractions, anything like that. You want to pray that you only receive that which is beneficial and helpful to get you to your highest timeline, right? So, all right, look at that. Wow, hallelujah. That's a beautiful start. I'm going to mix them back in, but spiritual loyalty to the divine. Hallelujah. 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 So we call in the spirit of truth, love, wisdom, prophecy, revelation, insight, foresight, hindsight. We call them in. We call in the spirit of Gilgal, our master, first master astronomer. Wow, look at this. Got a lot of cards jumping around. Cards are hot this morning. Okay, mixing them up here. Master astronomer, friend of Adam and Eve, Abdiel and Isha Shah. First to use cards for divining. My friend and master, I call you in to support the reading, please. Lovers of truth, wisdom. Boomerang, huh? Justice, balance. Let me call you in. I'm going to put this fan on, guys. I hope it's not too loud, but I am in the tropics. I hope you all can still hear me okay. Yes, so why is this card here? The cards are doing weird stuff. Balance. Interesting. Okay, so let's get to it. So I heard earlier today, I heard a conversation, and there's a woman, and she was getting arrested or getting released from being bailed out or something. And security, safety and security, beautiful. And there's all this energy around her because she told what she knew about something that was going on. She had done some small but significant part, and when she was asked to perform her small but significant part, she told the people that if they got caught, she was going to say that they forced her, and she was going to tell everything that she knew. They insisted that we won't get caught. Nobody ever checks these things. Do you know how many of these things get filed a day? Nobody ever goes in and checks. Why would we get caught? We have never gotten caught. She went on to say, there's a first time for everything. I'm telling you just so that you know, if this goes badly, if this goes downhill, if you guys get caught, I'm telling you now, I'm not spending one day in jail for this thing. I'm going to tell them that you forced me, and I'm going to tell them everything that I know. And so now that this lady is being booked or released or something, it's like they're like vultures waiting for her to get home to find out what she said, to find out what she told. She is not fearful. She is just, I told you I was going to tell if this went wrong. That's what I heard. So, yeah, I don't know who that is. And I see a black lady. I see a sister, like medium set sister. saying that. I told you if this went sour, I was going to tell. I told you if y'all got caught, I was going to tell. I'm not going down with y'all. So, yeah. Spirit of truth, love, wisdom, prophecy. I also heard months ago, this woman saying to her husband, I told you, Tommy, I told you to leave her alone. I told you, Tommy, I told you to leave her alone. And I hear her telling him that she's too old. She's too old to wait for him in prison. Yeah, two things. I overhear conversations all the time like that. Clairaudience, they call that. I heard my sister say over her dead body when they told her that I had moved into the hill and that I planned to keep the hill. She said, over my dead body. Anyway, so we've got safety and security, and we've got honor, and that's way off the board, honor and face down, so people don't want to talk about this honor. This honor is either, like, it could be something like if somebody's planning your surprise birthday party, right? Then it's a hidden honor because everybody is conspiring to honor you. So it would be honor that you wouldn't necessarily be talking about. They wouldn't be talking about because it was a surprise, right? So there's that kind of honor being hidden. There's also honor being hidden, like you don't know who you are, who you're in the presence of, right? So it's like the king dressed up like a pauper, and that's hidden honor, right? You're treating him like a pauper, but you don't know this is the king. So, yeah, we've got some hidden honor going on in the subconscious here, and we've got safety and security, the kind that's built through community, on the board first. Tell us more. Spirit of truth. Wow, honor and faith. Faith. Now, the faith is being discussed openly, is being contemplated openly. The faith and the honor go together. So someone's faith has created a very upright honor. I mean, this thing come out flat-footed, so this one. So that's pretty sweet, right? Someone's faith has gained them honor that they don't necessarily see or people aren't necessarily talking about, right? Tell us more, Spirit of Truth. It's the beautiful lady. She always comes out in this position lately. It's this girl. And she's in the hopes and fears and somewhat in the, where's this all heading? So, hopes and fears for the beautiful, honorable lady of faith. What about her? Safety and security for this beautiful lady. Tell us more. Someone is faith, honoring her for her faith. Her faith has brought her honor. Tell us more. Speak truth. Someone is weak or fragile, and that's coming in not attached to this honor and faith, but related to it, right? So maybe someone's faith and honor makes someone else look weak because they're faithless, perhaps. I don't know. But somebody's weak, made weak, or lacking perseverance. Talk to us. Spirit of truth. Marriage is coming out in the subconscious and in the hopes and fears, which is part of the subconscious, of course. So, marriage to this lady, the beautiful lady, to someone the center of the read is this safety, security, stability with community, right? Honor, faith, weakness. It's someone, yeah, it feels like two different energies. It feels like someone may have fumbled a relationship with a beautiful lady. This beautiful lady is honored for her faith. This person didn't really want to discuss it, right? Like the honor for her faith, this person didn't really want to address it, although they know it's there, and somehow it caused a weakness. But they still have this hope of this marriage, a good marriage with this beautiful lady, that it feels like somebody fumbled. All right, tell us more. Spirit of truth, love, wisdom, and justice. Tell us more. Spirit of prophecy, foresight, hindsight. All right, coming up in the consciousness, like this is rolling around in the forefront of their mind and coming out somewhat with the environment, and also not necessarily being talked about or looked at, right? Or not wanting to necessarily. Yeah, cowardice. We got another coward move. So people see this person as a coward. This person know that they pulled a coward move. They didn't show perseverance in connection with this. This feels like one energy, and yeah, it feels like somebody fumbled this lady, this beautiful lady. Somebody didn't stand up for her. Somebody that was in love with this beautiful lady didn't stand up for her, even though they know that she's honored for her faith. They didn't stand up for her, and the community saw it. The community saw them not stand up for her. So not only do they feel like a yellow-bellied coward, but the community sees them as a yellow-bellied coward as well. Is there more? Wow. Look at the placement of these cards. It's so wild when they come up in straight lines like this. Something else that's not being talked about or necessarily looked at, or doesn't want to be talked about or looked at, still in this person's subconscious here. Letter. Something that they're reading. It could be, they could be studying books, and now they're starting to understand this lady's faith, right? Like maybe this beautiful lady is very religious, and this person's not very religious, so they, mishandled her, like, fumbled her, if you will. Maybe they came up in the scrutiny of someone who's like, that lady goes to church, and them and their homies don't really do church, so then they like kind of pushed her aside, instead of being like, well, I don't know if she calls white Jesus, black Jesus, or both of them, but that lady all right with me, rather than do that. They like, oh yeah, we don't do that, we don't fool with them Christians kind of thing, and like fumbled this lady, failed to stand up for her. But whatever they're reading now, whether they're studying the Bible or they're reading their old texts back and forth, or whatever they're reading now has them realizing that this could have been a beautiful marriage. So whatever they're reading now, they feel like shit. This person feels like a coward, but they still have this in mind. They still maybe it was something where she was in danger, and because they're thinking about her security, and there's all of this like cowardice stuff. So maybe she was in danger, maybe people were slandering her or something like that. He didn't stand up for her. But yeah, tell us more. Spirit of truth, love, wisdom. Okay, so where this is going is, and this is something that nobody's talking about or seeing, or doesn't want to be talked about or seen, is no plans for the future. It's not, it's going toward no plans for the future. Or scrapping plans that have already been made for the future, or something like that. Because this way this is plan ahead, and this way this is not planning ahead. So someone went down a path that I think that they're going to like pull a U-turn and go back and make a different choice. That's at least what it feels like that this person is wanting to do. Tell us more. Spirit of truth. Wow. Prophecy, love, and wisdom. 2 cards coming out, both wanting to hide. Okay. Wow. Guys. Okay, so this one is hindsight's 2020, right? It's like you never miss your water till the well runs dry. But it's not like when you hear that saying, that's usually trying to speak of ingratitude. But this is kind of the opposite. This is like, this isn't speaking of the ingratitude of that, but the gratitude of it, right? Like sometimes you have to be removed from a situation to really see the value, right? And so that's what this is. This is like you see the value of something once you get apart from it, right? Like absence makes the heart grow fonder, kind of a vibe, and fate. And these are coming out in, again, there's a lot going on in this hopes, fears, subconscious world of this person, right? They've got fate, and fate didn't come out upright, right? Fate came out twisted, so a twist of fate. A twist of fate they're thinking about. So you can't plan ahead. So this person is leaving it up to fate, what happens in the future. They've decided that they're not going to put effort into push fate either way. They're going to allow fate to do whatever, because they do have this newfound knowledge of the value of this person that they fumbled, right? Whoever this woman is that got fumbled, this person realizes her value now, but is, sorry baby, but is not going to push for any particular outcome, probably because they feel ashamed, because they fail to honor this spiritual lady. That might just be their karma, then, to just, you know, only appreciate her in hindsight. I don't know. But they're not going to take any action. They don't have any kind of plan or anything, but they're trusting the twist of fate is going to fix this, right? Serendipity. Spirit of truth, love, wisdom, justice, prophecy. Yeah, they don't want to share the responsibility of her safety. What does that mean? What does that mean? Can you clarify? What does that mean? They're fragile. People see them as fragile. Or people see her as fragile. People see him, somebody's seen as fragile. And it's connected to this not standing up for her stuff. So maybe the community sees this spiritual lady as I'm not sure if the community is seeing the spiritual lady or this suitor who fumbled her as fragile, but it is definitely a thing in the community about the fumbling and what that says about the individual. So whether it's saying that this person, the suitor, basically is, you know, soft or whatever, a coward, soft, or whether they're saying that he's a coward because he didn't protect this one that was soft. Either way, it's quite the discussion. Okay, you see, there's not a lot of energy. There are, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 positions, right? Yeah, there are 11 positions in the deck, and we've only dealt with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions with all these cards out, right? That means 6 positions haven't even been touched. So this is all about what's going on in this person's, like, subconscious, their hopes and their fears, like, figuring it out. They're turning all this over in their head, right? What the community sees and what they're going to do about it, right? So this sole responsibility for someone's safety is interesting, because maybe this person feels like maybe this suitor feels like this lady is, that they don't have the ability to provide her for the type of level of safety that they feel like she's going to need, because she's vulnerable in some way. She's more vulnerable than they feel equipped to deal with. This is like somebody taking on the sole responsibility of something, right? Because this way it's democracy, so this way it's not democracy, right? What else do we need to know here? What else do we need to know? Wow, everything's coming up. Where's this one go? Okay. Damn, guys. This really fucked up this person's, wow. This really messed up how this person is seen. This person fumbled this bag, this lady, and it really destroyed their reputation. There's no power sharing here. Okay, this is democracy distorted, so that means it's not democracy. This is sharing power. It's coming up distorted, which means they've nobody to blame but themselves. And this one is like living the good life. This is living all aspects of the good life. You're a leader. You live high on the hog, you know. You have leadership qualities and benefits. That's what this one is, right? Like that, that good life of like the upper echelons of any particular society, right? It's actually a chieftain's chair, and it comes out this way, right? So this person has been deemed like not to be a leader, or okay, so these two could suggest being a dictator, right? But with the chieftain's chair toppled over, this person's seen as a failed dictator, as a coward because they're soft, or they fail to protect the vulnerable. So it's very much affecting the way that they're seen by others. It's like the one opportunity to show what you're made of, and then they showed everybody the wrong stuff. They showed everybody the wrong stuff indeed. Y'all be careful how you handle spiritual people. Like, y'all gotta learn some discernment. You can't just treat everybody the same out here. Some people are markers in your life that come at a particular time where you're either going to be catapulted into a next higher timeline, or return to start of the same timeline and do it all over again, kind of a thing. Like, some people come into your life like that, and a lot of times it's vulnerable people. It's people that need your assistance in some way, or people that come to partner with you, or, you know, things like that. But it usually requires you to extend yourself in some way that you may have been struggling. Like, if you're struggling to speak up, it's going to require you to speak up. If you're struggling to learn to keep your mouth shut, it's going to require you to keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? So somebody really messed up here, because they lost a lot of credibility in the community, and they feel that. They feel that loss of credibility in the community for not standing up for this beautiful lady that they should have married. They should have stood up for and married. They're in their head now, though. They're in their head now. What else doesn't want to be seen or talked about? Strategy, knowledge. Well, that makes sense with this, right? Knowledge in whatever they're reading there. So, what about knowledge? Knowledge about what? Tell us more. What about knowledge? What about knowledge? Knowledge about what? What is this person learning? Knowledge about the police? Or knowledge about rank? Or knowledge, this is a... Alright, we got a lot of government leadership stuff going on now. So they're learning that something was a strategy of the king. So maybe this was some way. Okay, so let's just throw an example of what this could look like, okay? So let's say someone is running for political office and they, their opponent sees that they are partnering with someone that's going to be a game changer, really set them apart from the crowd, really make them like the no-brainer option, right? And so the opponent then could have a strategy to break up that alliance, right? They could have a strategy to break up that alliance, to weaken their opponent so that it stops the opponent in their tracks, right? And so then, whereas the alliance had the potential to really catapult that person into a whole next dimension of political power, instead, the disintegration of that partnership makes them look unstable. People are wondering why, that person, that they were partnered with is, everybody knows that's the upstanding, like, that's the one to associate with. So what went weird? Why do you not associate with that person? And now they're questioning their integrity and all this kind of stuff, right? And so after the fact, it looks like this person is after the fact realizing that they let go of this partnership because of the plan of higher ups, if you will, right? Like someone else orchestrated for them to lose that partnership because of what a threat it was to the establishment. And so now, not only was the partnership destroyed, but so it looks as if the reputation of this person was also destroyed. So these people, like whoever's plan this was, that this one is now realizing, has them feeling kind of like shit, because they realize they got played. They got played, and it caused them to play themselves. Somebody played them, caused them to play themselves by playing this spiritual person that they should have built and unified with. Wow. And guys, just for the like, I gotta give you what I got. I can't be who I'm not. I gotta say, there's a lot of legal stuff. There's a lot of like legal leadership stuff going on here, right? Because this is the system. This is the system. This is, kind of the system, power sharing, democracy, right? Like, it's a lot. So this is political games. People playing political games with their marriages, which marriage, is political. But, yeah. All right. So you're going to tell us about this chieftain's here. Sankofa. So they know that The only way to put themselves back on top as this leader, the only way to get this back upright is to fix it. They got to go back and reclaim this. This is what they're thinking right now. I don't know. For the beautiful lady who got basically played, who got ditched in some time of need, who got mocked for her spirituality or whatever, but is actually held in high honor spiritually. I'm not speaking for you and what you want, right? Or whether you would take this person back or not. But that's what they're thinking, and that's more so than that's what they're thinking. That's what people are saying. That's what people are telling them. People are like, you fell off when you broke up with Shirley. You fell off when you left your wife. You fell off when, you dated whoever for, 7 months, and the community was all expecting an engagement, and you guys broke up. Like, that's when you fell off. They're being told this by the community. And this isn't like close confidants. This is like everybody will say this to them. Right? But they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan. They're just realizing, they're just coming into the knowledge of how deep the rabbit hole goes on how this was sabotaged. Tell us more, Spirit of Truth, Love, Wisdom, and Prophecy. Tell us more. What else is going on? What else do we need to know? Tell us more. The blessing. This started out with a blessing, an amplified blessing, right? This is an amplified blessing. Started out with an amplified blessing. That's how we got here. So the community, it's funny because, there's like, never mind. Yeah, this started out with an amplified. That's probably got some jealousy in there, right? And then this person caved to jealous people and made a wrong move. Tell us more. Spirit of Truth, Love, Wisdom, and Prophecy. Tell us more. Tell us more. Something related to this cowardice move that doesn't want to be seen or talked about, but this person is mulling over in their mind. Protection. So this spiritual person was protected. Even though this person failed to protect them, they were protected anyway. Which is probably how this person learned the legitimacy of that person's spirituality and spiritual rank, right? Because these two together looks like spiritual rank as well, right? Honor and spirituality, or honor and faith. So that's like high spiritual rank, right? So somebody came to realize the spiritual rank of this good lady, right? This is that after the fact realization. So this is the realization of this good lady, this beautiful lady that should have been a counterpart. They realized that they didn't protect her, but she was still protected. She was still protected, and so they're like, wait, what? How does she not? They sent an atomic bomb. How is she still standing? They told me, hey, we're going to send an atomic bomb. Don't be over there, And so I came over here and I watched them throw the bomb, and now I watched everything blow up. And then here she comes, and she doesn't even smell like smoke. Like, what? Wasn't she home then? Like, how did this happen? So it's causing this person a total reality shift. This might be somebody entering into a dark night of the soul territory, which would explain why they don't have any plans, because you don't know how you're going to get the heck out of that. But yeah, this protection. She was protected even though this person didn't protect her. Spirit of Truth, Love, Wisdom, Prophecy. Tell us more. Tell us more. Something is not quite true. They didn't want to see the truth. They didn't want to acknowledge, They wanted to accuse her of being a liar. So they had to, it had to go that way. That's why there's fate involved, right? So they didn't believe. They thought she was crazy. So it's not just that they didn't stand up for her. It was they didn't believe her, right? So that's like somebody telling you they have a prophetic gift and they give you a warning and you don't believe them and you mock them and then you chase them away. And then the warning that they gave turns out to be true. And then you find out that what she was warning you against was, or what he, she, whatever was warning you against, is the very people that planted in your mind that they were not a prophet in the first place, because they didn't want you to have the advantage of that prophetic teammate. So then you realize, like, that the ones that you believed in were the false ones, and the one that you doubted was the real one. And so that's why it ushers you into, this person's probably entering into a dark night of the soul, because they were an unbeliever. They were an unbeliever. They were an unbeliever. Their spiritual courage was tested, and they were shown to be lacking, shown to themselves and to the community. Wow. Is there more? Yeah, of course. Of course, right? In case we didn't know, it's another woman. It's some other woman that is, she's not spiritual. That bitch is lying. And okay, so she falls here with this, this, and this. So this other woman has something to do with why this person didn't believe. And it has something to do with something written as well. So it could be like some other woman, you know, like using the Bible to bludgeon someone into spiritual subjugation, right? And then like, but then you actually read the Bible and you're like, wait a minute, the Bible don't really teach none of the stuff that the church be teaching. Where is the church coming up with this, right? It's like that kind of a thing. Like somehow whatever lies this other woman was feeding about this high-ranking, spiritual, beautiful lady, this other woman there's proof of the fact that this other woman was full of shit. And it's something written too. It's something written. This lady lied on this lady. Talk to us. Tell us, what else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? Spirit of truth, love, wisdom, and prophecy. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? Trying to hold somebody bound to the law. Somebody's breaking the law. They broke the law. Something about this. Is that what the lies were? Were the lies saying that this lady, this spiritual lady, was a criminal? Something about the lies, something about what's written in this lies and this other woman is illegal. Because we've got the law here, we've got freedom here, which is not quite freedom. Wow. Shoot. This is getting messy. Some criminal stuff going on. So maybe it's slander. Maybe it's like blatant slander, right? Times are not changing. Times are not changing. Sorry guys, give me a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Alright, so yeah, it looks like we got some kind of corruption or some kind of slander, something going on here against this beautiful, spiritual, high-ranked lady. Another woman being her adversary, having something to do with why someone did not stand up for this beautiful spiritual lady when they were given the opportunity. And so somebody's in regret about it. The community's all talking about it. The community is telling this person that the only way to restore their honor and get back to the good life is to get back in the partnership with this lady. But this person does not have a plan to do that. This person right now is just really, it looks like becoming bombarded with the truth of what they did, right? The truth that they fumbled this divine connection, and that they didn't stand up for the lady when they needed to. But it's the fact that it's interesting, because it's the fact that she didn't fall when they abandoned her that proved her to be who she said she was, right? So it's interesting that they are now like, like, oh shoot, she wasn't lying. She really is a whatever, psychic healer or Reiki master or whatever this lady is, right? She really is whatever she says she is. Is there more? Would you like to speak to us from the tarot? Spirits of truth, love, wisdom, and prophecy. All right, more in terms of where this is headed, not necessarily being talked about or seen, is, oh, it's heading to the divine promise. This card, no matter how it comes out, this card is always what it is. This is divine promise. This is a promises. This is my addition to the tarot. I have that is the addition to the tarot. And with the Indinkra, I have a blank card that comes out sometimes, which is, those who know don't tell, those who tell don't know kind of thing. But this is heading toward a promise, and it's not something that's, it's going to be a serendipitous kind of a promise. It's going to be a fated kind of a promise, the way that it plays out. It's not something that people can necessarily orchestrate, right? There are moving parts about the way that this will end in a promise that people don't control. The sovereign creator controls some aspects of this, but it is leading to promise. This is fate. This is part of the twist of fate network. So speak to us. Wow. And as I say, twist of fate at work, we get the Wheel of Fortune, but the Wheel of Fortune coming out on its side. That is tricky. So bad fortune for somebody. Bad fortune for somebody, okay? So you got a promise for someone, and you got bad fortune for somebody else. So probably whoever these people were that not only put this spiritual, beautiful lady in a position of vulnerability, but who then exploited that by removing from her this man who would have been a layer of protection. Somebody is getting the twist of fate that is writing this for this lady, is definitely causing problems, probably for this other lady. Shit. Fortune, chance. Shit. You don't want that against you, but it's against somebody. Who's going to take this karmic hit? Who's going to take the karmic hit? Two. Both of them are secret, right? People aren't necessarily talking about it. Someone who is depraved. Shit. Reciprocity. Reciprocity for lies. Reciprocity and depravity. Sankofa, depravity. Sankofa, depravity. Reciprocity for lies. Oh, ooh. Shit. Sankofa depravity. All right, basically what I did say, anybody who came against this beautiful spiritual lady and this union, it's the union, because it's not just her, it's the union that they came against. So anybody that came against that union, anybody who lied, okay, the people that are going to get this bad fortune, anybody who lied and said that this lady was not who she says she is, they're going to get this crushed by this wheel, by fortune, right? They're going to crap out. Depravity, Sankofa. Sankofa, depravity, this house. Yeah, because of the undermining of a beautiful thing, the security that would have been offered. Also, there's a next player in here I see in the community. There's a next player who wants to be in this person's position. There's a next player, there's a layer behind this lady, behind this lying lady. There's a next layer that has to do with this community. Remember we talked about, like, if this is political, right? That's the next part of it, right? There, yeah. Some of these it's not going according to plans. Things are not going according to plan. Somebody had it. This was a setup. This was some kind of a weird setup that didn't go like how people thought it was going to go. It did, but it's not done. It went how they thought it was going to go, but it's still going. Shit. Tell us more. Tell us more. Yeah. Six of Swords, distorted, inequity, falling on this misfortune, inequity, misfortune. This was a setup. This was somebody's getting back what they put out in a bad way. Their heart must have been in such a wicked place. Whoever came against this union, it must have been such a wicked place. Because it's coming back. They are going to eat that shit there. They're going to eat that. Because it was unfair. It was unjust. That's the part. Because the lady ain't bothering nobody, whoever she is. Truce. Yeah, I bet they do want a truce now. Yeah, that's going to come in, guys. You're going to hear that. Okay, if you're the divine one that's been under this attack, the lady who's been alienated and all that, they're going to be looking to make a truce. People are going to want to make a truce. Tell us about this truce. Whose truce? Wow, out of balance, way out of balance. Yeah, because they want to fix it, right? Look at balance. Look at how balance is. They want to fix it now that they realize they screwed up. Now they want to fix it. They want to make up. They want to... Oh, boy. I bet they do. Times are not changing. So, times are not changing, which means this divine union is still going to happen. It just had to happen through all of this drama because whoever this male counterpart is, the one that's gone through all this stuff in his head, the one that the community's looking at him sideways like, why you ain't protect your girl? 'Right? whoever this one that was rising, and his opponents used this to dethrone him, whatever that was, looks like it's still intact. But he had to come into the recognition of who he was dealing with in order to go forward. And that's what this all, I guess, happened for, so that he could understand who he was dealing with in terms of who this lady's not just a beautiful lady. This is a high-ranking spiritual person. Wow. Okay, tell us more. Tell us more. What else do we need to know? The spirit of truth, love, wisdom. Okay, something about this liar, this other lady, this lying lady, that she doesn't want us to know, is disharmony, slightly distorted. Right. She doesn't want to. She wants to be seen like she's helping. Right, and that's what this truth and this trying this balance coming in. She doesn't want to fight. She wants to be seen as a friend, as a helper, as like, I just want what's best for you. She's kicking that line, right? I just want what's best for you. And it is the absolute last thing that she wants, because what's best for this man is to get her completely out of his energy. And that she knows. So whenever she sees what's best for him, she makes sure to chase it away, because what's best for him usually takes his attention, his resources, his loyalty, all of that away from her. But I hear her saying that, I just want what's best for you. She's lying. And now that's the angle that she's going to try to use to get back in his good graces, now that he's probably cut mostly everybody off, or if he's dealing with everybody, nobody knows what's going on inside of him, right? But what's going on inside of him is exactly what's going on in the community, which is that people are realizing he fumbled this spiritual lady that would have been his counterpart. It would have been a beautiful, good marriage. So now she wants to like make up. She wants to slide into the position of, I'll make it all better. I know you're sad that you and your girl broke up, but I just want what's best for you. Woo, woo, woo. And so that's what her angle is. That's what she's planning and trying to pull off, right? Tell us more. What else do you need to know? Yeah, but the star is still the star. The star, this is an amplified star, right? I take reversals, complete reversals, as an amplification of the energy. And so this star here is, there's no, you can't pretend the star isn't the star. Like, you can pretend the star isn't the star, but you can't unsee it. This man can't unrealize the star power of this lady. He can't unrealize it. Like, there's nothing that this woman's going to say. There's nothing that these cronies in the community, good or bad, nobody's going to say. Like, he has seen this star power. He's seen that this lady who he didn't stand up for, he is now saying, oh shit, this is the other level. Like, this isn't just any old kind of a woman. This is the other level type, you know, once in a lifetime type of a vibe. He's seeing that. And it's helping him to dig in for his own star quality, his own true authentic self, which interestingly touches down here on honor and protection. So maybe he's feeling like he needs to honor what he now knows about this beautiful lady by protecting her. which may be why he doesn't have plans, because he's like, you know, he'll see if fate is going to bring them back together, but he doesn't have a plan for that. He just knows that he needs to be more protective of her going forward, which could just be as simple as if her name comes up in public conversation, to say something honoring versus something dishonoring, right? It could be that simple. Is there more? Tell us more. Is there more? Wow. Dissatisfied. 9 of Cups inverted over this dictator, or this lack of democracy. It's dissatisfied. Somebody's a lousy dictator, and then over this marriage, something that's not being taught. Oh yeah, this person is tired of, someone's tired of making all the decisions themselves. They're tired of it. They're tired of having to make all the decisions themselves. And what is not being talked about with this marriage? It's a very simple marriage. The beauty of what makes this a good marriage is so simple. Is that it's not it's not complicated. It's not messy. It's not none of that. It's just a simple, pure, balanced connection. Which is what this person wants, which is why they're dissatisfied with this democracy, with this being dictator and being alone and making decisions for themselves. Remember, we've got that here, we've got that here. Like, this person is wishing that they had this star to balance them out, to help them come up with satisfactory plans for their own life, you know. They're realizing, like, alone sucks. One's the magic number, but it sucks a lot of times. That's what this person is realizing. Yeah, all right. Tell us more. Spirit of truth, love, wisdom, prophecy. More about this dissatisfaction with being a shot caller. Oh, they don't want to tell the truth. They're tired. They're tired of fronting, right? They're tired of pretending that they're satisfied. It's like those, you know, those single, I don't need a man women, right? Those I don't need a man women, but like, it'd be a room full of I don't need a man women, you know, talking all that big shit. But let a man walk in the room and watch how they fight and scrap and do each other dirty, trying to be the one that gets picked, right? And so that's kind of what's going on here. Is this person has this this idea of themselves as being autonomous and you know, a lone wolf, right? Like all this stuff, but it sucks. They're lonely. They're lonely. It's bullshit. They don't do good by themselves. They don't do good by themselves. This person doesn't do good by themselves. They're not living their best life by themselves. Yeah. Oh, tell us more. Thank you, thank you. Something else that they're not necessarily talking about or wanting to be seen. Wow. Something really bad karma is in here, guys. I mean, really bad karma. Really bad karma connected to whatever this plan was. Whatever this person is now reading, whatever this person is now learning, and maybe the police are now learning, or maybe this person is police, right? But there is major bad karma attached to it, to these lies. Major bad karma. Wow. Somebody did something really unfair, guys. Somebody did something really, really unfair. Really just mean. Somebody did something really fucking mean. Really unfair. It's like you have a friends group, you know, of 5 girls, and one of them has been saving herself for marriage. And so, you know, she's known, everybody knows she's a virgin, you know, all through high school she's still a virgin, through college she's still a virgin. And so what do? You're the mean person in the group. And so you set her up, you know, and she doesn't really drink, but you're like, come on, it's my birthday. And so she has a drink, and you put something in her drink that knocks her out, and then you have, you know, boys do stuff to her, and you get footage, and you circulate the footage, and you're like some virgin, right? But then you don't even, like, nobody knows where the footage came from. Nobody knows, like, none of that. But you're sitting there and you're saying to her, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to you, and your reputation is ruined, and what are your parents going to say? You're standing there consoling her, but you're the bitch that put the shit in her drink. You're the bitch that took the pictures. You're the bitch that circulated it online. It's like that level of, like, dirty that's going on in here. It's that level of dirty, okay? And so that level of karma is coming out. And this has a lot to do with things that were said, slanderous things that were said. Wow. Somebody's, whew, I wouldn't want to be on that end of this karma. Is there more from the tarot? Spirit of truth, love, wisdom, and prophecy. Is there more from the tarot? There is. Damn. Yeah. People gonna go broke. This is gonna be a costly mistake. Costly. And that's another thing that this person that's contemplating all of this, that wants to be in union with this beautiful lady, that's what they're contemplating, is the losses. They're looking at this in terms of losses somebody's going to take. Somebody's going to take some big losses, and they know that. Maybe them. Maybe they've already taken some big losses. But it's because of how mean this thing was and what it caused this beautiful spiritual lady to lose. Times are not changing. They didn't affect her outcomes. They only affected their own. Tell us more. Is there more from the tarot? Y'all hear the rain? I think I'm going to call it a reading because I think the rain is loud. Yeah, that's a reading anyway. Look, we got the one deck without a card coming out. All right, guys. Well, I don't know what to say. You know, if you are the person who is realizing that you fumbled a star, I think that your strategy is good, not to be forceful, to allow fate to unfold. I think that whatever's going on with the legal stuff, that's already rolling. Like there's no stopping that train, right? There's definitely legal stuff happening that's going to be rebalancing out some scales. There are some lies that are being exposed, like period and point blank. There are players that are being uncovered, period and point blank. And I don't know, if you're on the team of people who've been coming against these kind of innocent light workers, it sucks to be you, because you've locked yourself into a reality that you're not going to get out of. You're not getting out of the reality that you crafted for that other person. You're not getting out of the pit that you dug for that other person. And now, the one that you thought you were doing this for has seen you. They've seen you, and they realize that you have you blocked their blessing. So in addition to all your regular karma, now you've got this one that's looking, I don't know, that might have been your one person that could have helped and supported you in the slammer or something, and instead they realize that you sabotaged them. Like, I don't know, guys, it's rough. You could turn the light off. Is this going to bother you? You could turn the light off. I'm going off. Anyway, I'm Jedi, Empress Jedi, the Rabble Rouser, High Priestess of Ma'at. Hope this helps somebody. Shalom.